I think we're live. So we're live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Whole Division podcast. I am your host this week, just me, Chidi, no sticky. This is episode 10, and we are going to be doing like a discussion with just us ladies tonight, and we might have another couple of ladies jumping in on the conversation a little bit later. But for now, I am joined by the beautiful Brena. Welcome, Brena.
Thank you.
And you can catch Brena on Instagram and her business, which is Brena's Addictive Cakes. I will be putting all the links in the caption box when I post this episode. And also I am joined by the beautiful Mrs. NG Bant. Welcome, Mrs. NG Bant.
Thanks for having me again.
You're always welcome, always welcome. And yeah, I think, do you know what? We've done a few of these discussions now where it's just all ladies, and it's just really nice because there's no sticky and there's just no masculine energy, and it's really nice when we get to say what we want to say without being interrupted, which is great. And I think the last discussion that we had, we were talking about divine feminine energy, and we did have another topic where we were going to be talking about the dominant male, but I think we got so carried away with the divine feminine, which was nothing wrong with that, but we got so carried away with it we didn't actually get to discuss the dominant male. So that is going to be our first topic for this evening. So yes, the dominant male. Brena, I'm going to come to you first, and I'm going to ask you, what does the term dominant male mean to you, and what do you think about it?
At the moment, it's quite imaginary. Dominant male is an imaginary concept. It's and on a serious note, I'm very much on my journey of learning what might sound a bit crazy, but learning what a male is supposed to be. For the background that I had and the examples I had growing up around me, whether it be in the home, out the home. So yes, I was blessed that within my family unit, so like my dad, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do when I was younger. By the time I hit my teens, he started to show me what a male is supposed to be. My uncle, he's been around from obviously day one. He's shown me what a male is supposed to be. My brother, we didn't grow with him from my dad, but then we got closer and connected, and see him now as a grown man, as a husband, as a father. I'm seeing through like the males in my life, and that way what a male is supposed to be. So for me, having gone through cycles of relationships that were not beneficial, unhealthy ones, I am now relearning myself, and so empowering myself about who I am in my journey, but also learning what is a male supposed to be, because what I had been picking up along the way wasn't what men were supposed to be. They were definitely not dominant males. I've always been, in a lot of the relationships or encounters I've had, been the more intelligent one. It's nothing to do with bragging and boasting. It's just what it was. I tended to have been drawn to men that were on the road and things like that. And so it's like the intellect wasn't the same. Some of the conversations I would like to have, couldn't really have them. In terms of being able to, plan and build a future and grow, that wasn't going to happen with them. I'm the one I was just independent woman. I may have, relationships along the way that didn't work out, but always taking care of myself. I've never actually allowed, when I say allowed, I don't think I've really encountered many men in my life that I could have said romantically could be like, yeah, that one could have probably represented as a dominant male for me. That would be like, maybe like two. So it's just like, but generally speaking, it's like I'm literally learning. So for me, what a dominant male is starting to mean is a male that is a man that has, intellect that is, equivalent to or preferably higher than mine. I want to be able to bounce off a man. I want to be able to learn from him and grow with him. He doesn't have to be my only source, but it's like, what's the point in being with a man that's less intelligent than me? And I'm always the one having to lead the way. That puts me in my masculine. Right. I want to be feminine. I want to be in my divine feminine. I don't want to have to be leading. Of course, there's going to be times as the female, depending on what the situation is, the nurturing this, and that's where that comes in. But in terms of just raw energy from a male, I want him, in terms of dominance, I want him to be intellectual. I want him to be grounded spiritually. I wanted to be conscious, not pretend conscious, sister, queen, and then you're on some joke thing when it comes to women. I want you to have a backbone. I want you to have vision. I want you to have goals. I want you to actually be doing things. Don't tell me about what you're going to be doing and you're going to be doing and you're going to be doing for the next 20 years. Be doing it when I meet you. You're already on your way. You might not be there yet, but the fact is you're chatting about your business, but your business is already running. It just might not be as opposed to the ones that's always opening up business that don't open. So this is what for me a dominant man, someone who's in control of their emotions. I'm realizing that a lot of the men I've encountered just straight traumatized. They're just straight traumatized males, the most traumatized of the trauma. Yes, I've done my shadow work to know why I was picking them up, so don't worry about that. But this is straight trauma. And so they don't know how to deal with women. They don't know how to lead. They don't know how to support and nurture. They definitely don't know how to provide. So for me, this is 100%. What dominant male means. It means that masculine, raw masculine energy where a man is confident in himself. He's intellectual. He's grounded. Does this mean perfection? No, but these are the core aspects that I'm looking at when I think dominant male. If a man wants to walk through that door, that's supposed to be my man, my king. I know what I'm looking for now, so I might be single for a while, and that's fine. It's been a while, because peace is better than foolishness. So I'm looking for that dominant male that fits that vision, somebody that I can grow with, bounce off of. I need a man that when he's upset and there's things stressing him out because he's human, especially, you know, the trials that our Black men in particular have to face when they're out there, he can come home to me and talk to me about it, not just be in a mood and be angry and be moving stupid. He can actually sit down and reason with me. I need to know that, God forbid, if he's lost someone he loves and some genuine reason, that he can actually sit there and straight have a little cry, let me hold him. We don't even need to discuss it. He's just upset. He's got a right to be. He's lost someone that he loves. That's a drastic example, but I don't mean I want a man crying every minute on my shoulder. But for good reason. Our men have got so much pent up inside, and that comes out in anger and frustration and straight whatlessness because they can't control their emotions. And I want a man that is comfortable expressing his emotions in the right way as and when needed, and can definitely lead the way. I've got 3 girls. I can't be picking up no waste, man.
No, you can't. You need that. It's like you need that masculine leader. You need somebody who can display that masculine energy that's going to elevate you, that is going to be able to, you know, I think it's the balance. Obviously, the divine masculine is the balance to the divine feminine. So if you are picking up a man that is not in touch with his divine masculine self, then what's the point? You're just carrying extra baggage. It's just a problem. You're just adding problems to problems. There's no point to it. And I think a lot of these men as well, they just don't know what it means to be in touch with their divine masculine selves. Like you know, going back to what you said about these men being, they're them fake woke guys that, you know, yes, my queen, yes, this, that, and the other, but they really don't know what it means to be a leader. Yeah. And their idea of what it means to be a leader is, in reality, it doesn't work. And I think this is where they kind of just mess up, because they think they're the shit before they're actually the shit. Do you know what I mean? And even when,
you no longer have to win a lady's hand. You're supposed to bow down to them for no reason at this table that don't exist that they've got.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Brena, don't make me start. Listen, Brena gets me on my rant. Yeah, I'm like, yes, she just gives me that little boost to say, yeah. Emma, before I come over to you quickly, I'm just gonna say good evening to everybody who's joined the live. Welcome, thank you guys. Good evening. I see all your good evening messages. There is a male in the comments, and he is saying he doesn't. Wait there, we've got a comment. He said, not sure if I agree there. Why does he need to be more intellectual?
I get bored. I'm a highly intellectual woman, straight. I get bored. No disrespect, that's where it is. I'm not saying someone doesn't have a university degree like me, they can't sit and reason with me, not at all. But you've got to have a certain level of intellect to be able to stimulate my mind, or I'll get bored.
Teach me something. Put me on to new things. Tell me about things that I don't know. Help me explore. I think this is where a lot of men, they try to use a lot of sexual energy as well, also to lure women in, and then when it comes to the, you know, the nitty gritty, they're not really all that at it anyway. I think into a man who knows intellect, a man who educates himself, a man who is worldly, and like you said, I don't even mean education wise, don't have to have a degree to be worldly. It could just be something as simple. You've sat and you've read books and you've done research on a certain thing. That is attractive. I don't care that what any woman says, yeah, even if she is not too bright or whatever, even if you're not the brightest spark, that is going to be a turn on because you have taught me something and you've put me onto something that I don't know. You're able to educate me, or you're able to just show me something different. And I think that's quite rare. So yeah, to the man who said that in the comments, I'm gonna say no names, yeah. But anyway, moving on swiftly. Emma, I'm gonna come to you, beautiful lady. So, what do you think? The dominant male. Talk to me, girl.
What's left to say? Brena just laid it down.
Brena went in.
She did. She went in, but nothing she said was wrong at all. Not a thing. And you touched on it. It is literally the polar opposite. Well, not necessarily the opposite, but with what we have as a feminine energy, the men have to match. And it is about a balance. And even if you're not spiritual, I'm sorry, but there's traits that are going to complement each other. And if you don't have both, something's missing, isn't it? And you said, what's the point? If he isn't that, it's pointless. He's useless. Effectively, it's like having a child because he hasn't matured, he hasn't grown, he hasn't realized what he needs to be to deliver as a man almost. And that's not me trying to downplay by suggesting that if a guy isn't A, B, and C, that he's not a real man. I'm not saying that, but I think to effectively have a relationship with a woman and build on something and create more life or whatever it may be, you have to be in a certain place. And if you're not, something falls short somewhere, something falls down. So everything that Brena said, I like a guy to be logical, confident, assertive. When I say assertive, I don't mean I want him to shout at me, but like, know what you want, make decisions. Don't be sat on the fence all the time. Be stable, be clear. And I think the biggest thing for me nowadays is being emotionally intelligent and understanding your own emotions and knowing how to deal with them. Because, don't get me wrong, there's women as well who struggle with this, but I think men do a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Brena laid it down. I think as well, for me, as well as a guy being assertive, I do need him to be ambitious or maybe goal-driven, like know where he's going, but kind of be on this planet at the same time. Don't let your ambitions be so far up your backside that you're never going to reach them. Be realistic. Be in the real world, basically.
Yes. I think and I think especially now, there seems to be like quite a lot of pressure or men feel pressurized into being successful now. And, we've got social media and, and everyone's doing this, everyone's got the latest car, everyone's, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I just think that where that pressure is, I think a man will have a vision, but then sometimes he can allow his ego to kind of take over. So especially, and I think I've been in situations where I've sat down with men and we've spoken and stuff, and they've said to me, I've got this vision and these ideas, and then you might say to them, if you give them like sort of a hint of, oh, that would be something that you're really good at, all of a sudden their ego takes over, and all of a sudden they're just the best thing since sliced bread, and I'm like, okay, I don't know, I just find that happens a lot. It's like they always have something to prove, or yeah, I'm doing this and yeah, I'm doing that. And then I also find as well, when I think men can get a little bit insecure when they are around women who are very career driven, or women who are assertive, or women who know exactly what they want or what they're doing, and I think sometimes when a woman actually speaks up on it and says, right, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm about, they're like, oh, hang on a minute, and then they see the woman as their competition almost.
Yeah,
I found that so much, like, within the work, like in my workplace, it's predominantly female anyway, but like that's just in my work environment, like with the things that I do on the side, like I do a lot of mindset training, and even like my mentor, he was really like, I kind of had to fall out with him a little bit because I just feel like, why competing with me. It's mad. You're my mentor, but you're competing with me. It was strange. I just found it very strange. And he admitted that it was because he couldn't cope with the fact that my feminine energy was dominating his masculine energy. And I was like, wow, like you're insecure. That's different. I've got a few comments here. So welcome to everybody who's joined as well. Hey guys, good evening. Lamal, we've got a really good friend of mine. So he's saying to let a male join. So Lamal, if you want to jump on, then you can jump on. Let me know, and I'll send you the link, and you can put your male point of view across. I think just to anybody who's joined, this week is just this like an all ladies discussion. We had a part one a couple of weeks ago, and this is just like sort of a continuation of the last discussion that we had. So we're talking about the dominant male this evening and what the dominant male means to us. Peely is saying, I think it's down to preference. Everyone has their ideal to what they want in a man. That is down to what you want in your person. Milan's joined. Welcome, Milan. Millie, if you're about, jump on, girl. Peely's also said, if anything, you have to be prepared for what you want in a man, for him to be your ultimate dominant male. No dominant male is the same to us, maybe similar, but not the same. Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with what you're saying, because like no man's the same as well as no woman is the same also as well. So yeah, that is definitely something to think about there. And I think, like a man can be I think, when you say the word dominant, people always get kind of a vision in their mind of this, this man tying you up. You have to think of a little safe word. They all automatically think that as much as there's a physical side to things, there's also the mental side to things. Do you know what I mean? It could be something as simple as, like, I saw something the other day and it was saying how, even when a woman has to choose where they're going to eat or what she wants to eat, it's always, I don't know. It's always, I don't know. I know I'm like that, yeah. I am like that. I'll be like, oh, I don't know, innit? But if, even just something as simple as a man saying, right, we're going here tonight to eat, yeah? Be ready at this time. We are going. This is what we're doing. How many men do that? How many men actually do that? I just don't know.
Different.
To me, dominant males approach women differently. As like I said, where I'm still learning for myself. I even there's a page that I follow on Instagram. I think it's called Alpha Male. So obviously it's a page for men, but for me, it's like I mind my business. I'm not trying to be up in the comments and tell them what a man is or isn't. This is why I'm there to see. Yeah. And I like the energy and I like the vibes. I like where the angles that they come from. So I just like soaking up and things that fit my vision, and things that don't. But overall, I follow the page because I genuinely like. This is not a page directed at women. It's a page directed at men, that want to be in their alpha energy. And that's why I follow the page, because like I said, I'm still on my journey. I didn't have enough of it growing up. I clearly didn't know what I was looking for in terms of relationships. So I didn't go down the right roads in that department in the past. And now that I'm much more clear about what I want, even when like I do with my cake business, that's one thing. It's mostly women I interact with. But my networking business, is the industry of trading and networking is male dominated, but our actual team that I'm a part of is actually quite feminine. So now that a lot of like, more women, so it's lovely when the men join and we get their energy and we get their input, because obviously as women we've got a certain type of frame of mind, how we think, different personalities, yeah, but it's nice to have that different energy in there and that space that men, when we go to events, and it's like the energy, the type of men that I now meet is very different from when it was just the type of men I would meet on the ends. Let's be real. Yeah. And that includes men that used to be on the ends doing things that they shouldn't be doing, that are now part of doing what we do now, and you can still hear it sometimes, but overall their mannerisms are different, their dress code is different, how they approach me is different. It's like now when men's like sort of moving funny to approach me and talk to me already, I'm like, bruv. Yeah, and I understand women like that, because I'm just so quiet and be like, okay, it was so sweet that he had that courage. No, I need you confident, bruv. I need you confident. I need you to know what you want. I need you to be clear on what you want, and I don't need you shook of me. That's not going to help.
Brena's not fucking about, you know. She said, I need you to be conscious. Like, and I love that because it's about knowing what you want. And I think if you display that, men also find that attractive as well, especially if you know what you want. You know yourself, innit? And you know your worth, you know your, like, at the end of the day, they say you don't have expectations, but we do. We do have expectations because we're human beings and we do. You know, to a height, I think it's okay to have expectations. And there's nothing wrong with putting out there what you actually want. I think we have to get real with ourselves and be honest with ourselves in order to attract like that. That's how the law of attraction works. If we keep saying, do you know what, no, it's okay, I'll put up with the bare minimum, I'll do that, you're just going to continue to get the bare minimum. If you say, nah, this is what I want, then I believe that that's what you will get. Millie, welcome. It is so nice to see your beautiful face. I love the fact you're wearing red because red suits you. We do love that.
Hi guys.
For everybody
Sorry, it's half
joining,
term and yeah,
half
it's just there's a
term.
lot going on. But I'm here, guys. I made it. Woo!
Now this is what I mean, Melanzo. She shows up. She shows up. Welcome, Millie. Always a pleasure to see you. I have got some comments, yeah. So I'm just gonna go through them because there's quite a few. I hope I don't come off the screen. So DJ Sticky Fingers is saying, but why do we have to do that? Why can't a woman say this is where we are going? Did he miss the topic?
Got to lead the way.
He missed the topic.
Dominant male. So I'm not saying that in terms of, I don't mean that I want a man that just barks orders and says, this is where we eat, this is where we live, this is what, but you know, when there's a team, there does need to be a final decision. I need to be able to look up to a man and trust where we're going. We may have a different opinion, but we've got to make a decision about where we're living, where the kids go to school, something important. And sometimes it does have to just be a decision. And if we can't pick one, it's nice to know that, right, I can fall back on someone and trust that, right, you know what, B, I'm not really I feel this, you feel that, let's go with this, and it goes how it goes. You know what I mean? There has to be a decision. We can't be arguing for all day and discussing all day forever. And at the time, a man has to be able to hear my opinion and respect that. Like I said, I'm not saying that I need to just be at someone's foot and they tell me everything. No, I want someone where they, you know, like you have your empire, you rule together. He listens, he takes advice, but at the same time, at certain times, it's time for a man to be a man and lead the way. Doesn't mean I haven't had to along the way about where we're going. Do you know what I mean? But I need you confident and decision making. I need you to be able to lead and enrich my life.
That. I do. I love that. I love that, Brena. This is why Brena don't play, man. I've also got another comment from Lamal Alchemist is saying, you girls all got good points. 100%. I think you got to be real with yourself and definitely admit your faults and work on your faults. The women must too. There's someone for everyone. There's someone for everyone, but every and soul. I think I don't know if I'm reading that right. Hang on. There's someone for everyone. I think it's for every soul. Yeah, I love that, what you say. It is about, and I think it's about us both, you know, both the man and the woman taking accountability for where we all have our flaws. No one's perfect. And it's about working together in unity, really. And I think that's where it kind of is messed up in this generation, especially because you got your city girls, you got your city boys, you got your hustlers, you got your Malanda city girl, and then we got your hustlers, you got your this and the other. So I think along the way we've lost the concept of like divine unity. I think we have, and you know, I'll put my hands up and say, like, at a point in my life I was like, fuck these men, I'm just doing my thing. Do you get me? Like, but then it comes to a point where you're just like, no, let's just be kind of, let me heal myself. Yeah, let me heal my mindset. Let me just do things properly. But Millie, let's come to you, Miss Millie Rock.
Hello,
talk to me, girl. Dominant men. What do you think about dominant males?
I mean, I missed the beginning, so I'm probably going to come on a whole different tangent. But ain't they just like bloody peacocks? Do you know what I mean? They just want to fluff up their feathers and puff up their chests, and for what? Like, I'm not really bothered. I don't really care because I can do everything you can do without you. Been doing everything that you've been doing without you. So, you know what I mean? Like, nah. I mean, a dominant male. I mean, they've got their good points. They're good in good aspects. But I feel like I don't know, you know, and sometimes it's just a lot. Like, stop being a lot. Stop trying to do too much. Just, I don't know, just be normal. I don't even know what normal is, but, you know, it's just sometimes it's just a lot where you're just like, you know, you look at them sideways like,
think, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, no one said that. No one brought that up. No one, and you're just there, just puffing up your chest. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one's got like a pigeon. That's what they are, pigeons. Pigeons and peacocks.
Yeah.
Pigeons and peacocks. Like, sometimes, I don't know, be a dove.
Yeah. No, I hear that, though. I know what you're saying, because I think men, you know, like, I think men get it twisted sometimes what it means to be dominant. Like, it's not they, and this is where I was saying earlier on, Mills, like, they get it.
It's not like,
and it's egotistical, very egotistical, and it doesn't have to be egotistical. It's like putting a woman onto new things. It's showing her that, you know, sometimes, because as women we do act up and we act foolish sometimes, and it, you know, sometimes, but we're allowed to do that because it's part of our feminine traits. We're allowed to have little tantrums. We're allowed to have little breakdowns, but that's where the dominant male steps in and either says, you know what, you're being a little bit of an idiot right now. Just take a deep breath and just stop there. Or, you know, the dominant male can also step in and say, do you know what, have your moment, do your thing. It's about balance, and it's about knowing. It's not about being a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of these men do get that twisted. They think that, you know, being dominant doesn't come with sensitivity and vulnerability. Yeah. Men have to be vulnerable too in order to be dominant, because I think a lot of men, in order to lean into their dominance, they have to know vulnerability also as well. Mills, I'm going to come back to you now. I've got a couple of DJ Sticky Fingers is saying is who decides where to eat exclusively for the dominant male. He's just being, do you know what? I'm going to kick him out and I'm going to ban him from these conversations.
It's not, but help us out. Why does it always fall upon us to make that choice?
Exactly. Is that okay for you, DJ Sticky Fingers? I mean, if it's not, write a letter in red pen in it. I just don't know what to say to you.
Even a decision out there allows us to be like, a man could say to me, all right, Sabrina, you've agreed for us to go out. We're going out to, I don't know, the steakhouse. Bro, you know, I'm not really hot on steak. You got another suggestion? Or, oh, how about this? It just opens up a dialogue when there's a decision made, even if it's like, I don't know.
Or furthermore, you should know that I'm not into steak for you to be suggesting go somewhere that you like. I ain't going.
Milan's not going for steak. The alchemist Lamar is saying that energy and soul connection is different. Love that. That energy and soul connection is different. It really is. It really is. And I think a lot more men and women are leaning into that now as well, where they actually want a connection with somebody. I'm not saying everything has to be all like, you know, dreamy and deep and stuff, but you just want to know where, like, I want to know where you're at, you want to know where I'm at, and it just needs to be easy, innit? Like, I think a lot of things are forced sometimes, and I think it's just about getting to know each other and knowing where the balance lies. And we've got Peely is saying, I feel like dominance is about requesting control. Something like them allowing you to decide where you are going to eat is a good example. Relinquishing control is a form of ultimate control. Yes, Peely, she's not playing as well, you know. Allowing your woman to decide is not necessarily a bad thing. DJ Sticky Fingers.
Because we're always out with our girls having cocktails.
Yeah.
We know all the good spots. All you don't know is just dust.
Yeah. Yeah. Sticky saying, but why?
Why what?
For me, it's about a bit of leadership for me. Like, for me to fall back in my place, I want someone to take the lead. Now, if you can't pull your pants up and do that, then fine, I will. But I'm more comfortable if the guy takes the lead.
Andrew, you know how I always say, so I like driving. So I always say like this, like, I like driving and I like to drive. But sometimes I might want to be a passenger in my own car, and that's okay. Because sometimes, you know, It might annoy because you might be doing the gear stick a bit rough, and I'm like, fuck's sake. But you know what I mean? Like, you're trying, you're doing it, all right, cool, and then we're gonna swap back. I'm driving now, okay, cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's balance. It's just
the simple thing.
The yin to the yang and the bit in the middle, like, you know, like, you know, in those things, and there was the ball, and then you put one, and then it, like, the others don't move, and it knocks the other one. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, you just have to find the right rhythm to get them to just, do you know what I'm saying? Just that.
Yes, I love that, Bill. I love it.
Mrs. NG Band said about wanting to lean back so that, you know, there's a leadership taking place. This is why when in the beginning I look back at my door frame with no man in there, like, yeah, because I'm tired of leading. I don't think I'm necessarily like a very, you know, masculine woman or anything like that, but the choices that I made, that's why I had to do my shadow work to look at, well, I can't say all men are this, it's the men I'm picking up, so what was wrong with me? I have to check that, fine. But it's a thing of, right, I'm tired of leading. I'm a mom already, I run businesses, I'm doing things. It's like, it would be nice that somebody's there that, like I said, I can bounce off of, learn from, that likes to read like I like to read, likes to watch a variety of things like I like to watch a variety of things, likes to do things we like to do, but I can also bounce off of and learn from. And when it's time to sort out important things and nitty gritty stuff, forget all the lovey-dovey stuff, like serious life, there's someone I can have a reasonable, sensible conversation with, and I can trust that their word is their bond. I can trust that they're confident in what they're going to do. I can trust that I can rely on their leadership, but I'm here. I don't mean I won't say nothing and there's detrimental things going on. I've got no opinion. Oh, I have an opinion, but it's how we're going to move forward. I'm waiting for that to be able to lean back and have some leadership. Waiting. So
I think that's the thing is with a lot of women who have got strong mindsets and know exactly what they want and know where they're going, especially women, you know, as women and men, we've all been through something, you know, we've always been through situations and stuff. And I think it gets to a point where you're just saying, do you know what, no, enough is enough. And you do come to a point where you kind of check yourself, because I don't know if it's the same for any of you, but I got to a point where I just stepped outside of myself and really looked at myself and said, nah, do you know what? You're part of the problem, you know, Chid. You really are part of the problem because you're enabling this bullshit. You're attracting it and you're enabling it, because when you're in it, you know that it's not for you, and you know that it's just a bit, you know exactly how it's going to go, but you're still entertaining it because you think you can fix it, or you think you can nurture, and you think you can do all those things. No, sometimes we do have to step outside of ourselves and take a backseat and say, do you know what? This is not what I want. So we have to start. That's when we start kind of doing the self-reflecting and looking at ourselves and refocusing on what it is that we want. Peely is saying, oh, she said the word was relinquishing and not requesting. DJ Sticky Fingers is saying, why does the man need to lead the way?
He doesn't always need to lead, but it's nice every now and again, or if at least the majority of the time, he's happy to do that. He's confident, and he's, you know, a lot of men, I feel a lot of men in the right state of mind would be proud to lead the way almost. So for me, it's a difficult question to answer. If a guy's asking, why should I? That to me kind of suggests that, are they not confident in leading the way, and why?
That's what it sounded to me.
You touched on it earlier. You touched on it earlier, Chidi, about mindset. So when you were talking about the guy at work who saw your like assertiveness or whatever as competition or a threat, I feel like that is very masculine, whereas a woman might see those qualities as being more collaborative. Like, what can I do with this? How can I work with him? We're going to make a good team. And I think the way that a man thinks about and sees these certain traits in women makes a big difference to how they do respond to us. But yeah, the whole leadership thing, I think a lot of it will come down to confidence for men. And I think, again, a lot of it will also come down to when they mature emotionally as well.
Yeah, that is it. We just said that we didn't want to gas the thing up, but yes, exactly, that is what it is.
And before Sticky starts hammering away on the keyboard, I am not suggesting you're immature, but Just hear us out.
Gonna start now. He's right. He's saying something about. He said no. I can answer that. Right. So we're gonna go to the alchemist instead. The alchemist said it's about balance and just understanding one another, and then one partner taking control. Sometimes it's different mind settings. Yes, DJ Sticky Fingers is saying we need to get you on now with these ladies. Yeah, because he's actually so Lamal, again, I'm putting that out there. If you want to jump on, please let me know, or because I am on this live conducting it and hosting, just message DJ Sticky Fingers and he will happily give you the link. Actually, DJ Sticky Fingers, if you want to pop the link into the comments, then you're more than welcome to, for the alchemist to come on, because I like what he's saying. I'm just going to put a couple of things to you. Mills, I'm going to say, so I had a couple of comments from a few women. This is just like sort of whilst putting this discussion together. And the one woman was basically saying, yeah, what would you rather? Would you rather like what you doing type of man, or a gentleman who takes the lead and opens doors?
Is there another option?
No.
I could tell she wasn't chuffed with either.
Then Milan's like, no, fine.
Maybe a mix of. Do you know what? I think because I've been by myself for so long, a guy opening the door for me, that's an ick. Like, you're just gonna make me feel sick. Like, don't do that. I can open the door myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
you're
it
too
might
independent,
nice,
girl.
but it's not even. You know when it's just like. Bruv, like move, like walk through the door. Like now you're making me wait. Like I'm step. Now I've got to wait for you to open the door to let me through. Then you're gonna want to expect a thank you. Like, bruv, I can't keep saying thank you every time you open the door. I'm not gonna keep saying thank you every time you help me get out the car. Like, could do it myself. Do you know what I mean? But then I don't like the what you did. Like what. I'm just gonna have to go with the what you did.
Oh, the land.
No, but I have to because all of that stuff like. I ain't got time for it. I'm always on the go. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got things to do. I've got places.
Got shit to do.
You want me to sit in the passenger seat to wait for you to jump out the car, walk all the way around and open the door when I could have got out, been inside, saying yeah, the table's under blah 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 name. Like, what am I waiting for?
I get what you're saying. I get it because I know I've been in that position exactly where I'm a driver like you. It's rare I'm a passenger. But recently I was in a car and we were being chauffeur driven and here's me trying to get out and I can't because it's locked and I'm like, open the damn door. I ain't got time.
Mate, you see when someone's car has got the child lock on. For when you know, yeah. Take it off. But even like, you know, like, I don't know, like someone buying you flowers, don't buy me flowers. I mean, I don't really like flowers. I have hay fever so long. Like, don't buy me flowers. Don't do that. I don't know. But like I said, I feel like it's because I've not been in that for so long.
Yeah, it's that.
But even before, like when I was with someone, like going out to eat, I'd rather just pay. Like, I don't know. I'm just weird like that.
I know what you mean. It's because you become so accustomed to it and so used to just being that way and taking the lead and just getting shit done. I think sometimes we don't, especially like as independent women, you don't know when to take the back seat. And Milan, like you're like me, you're a giver. Even though it's not like not giving in a way where it's like a bad thing, but you're just naturally a giver. It's just who you are, and you naturally get things done. You got your shit handled, and it becomes that way. And I have found myself like arguing, like saying, "Well, no, I'll pay," and they're like, "Well, nah, I'll pay. Paid last time," and I'm like, "Right, you counting? Like, are you counting? And who's keeping tabs? Or what the fuck is that?" And I'll get my end. They're like, "Just let me pay. Like, what's wrong? Fucking just pay then." And it becomes ridiculous sometimes because you just think, "Oh my god, I'm really, really, really not used to this." And like, you know, random acts of kindness where like a man might send you flowers, or he might say, "Do you know what? I just dropped little £50 in your account. Just go and get yourself." And what the fuck is that? Do you know what I mean? You just don't, it's like, what is that? What do you want from me? What is going on? And it's like we question those things because we're not used to it. But those things are normal, you know? They're normal and we do actually deserve it. So I think a lot of women we need to attract more of that. I think people are trying to, the alchemist is trying to jump on and join. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you've got the Zoom app, and you just need to then just click that link to join us. Hopefully you can jump in, and because I'd like to hear a male point of view to all of this. And the things that he was saying in the comments was brilliant. Not sticky fingers though, he can't join, he's not allowed in. Emma, do you think that this statement is true? So, men didn't see their mother get loved, so they don't know what it means to love a woman. So some men didn't see their mother get loved, so they don't know what it means to love a woman.
I think it plays a huge part, if I'm honest. I'm not saying it's the case in every single situation, but how we're raised and what we're exposed to molds us as we grow. So if you're not exposed to that as a kid or a teenager or a young adult, how are you meant to understand or try and replicate it as you grow up? It works on both sides of the spectrum. You see kids who are, abused by parents kind of go on to the same cycles of deprivation. So yeah, I think it plays a massive role in it, to be honest. Brena said about her dad and originally not being around and stuff like that. And if you don't have that kind of figure or that energy or that kind of presence in your life, it's impossible to know what it's meant to be like because you have nothing to mirror or reflect from. The experiences aren't there. So yes, I agree with that. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily the reason every single time a guy doesn't know how to love a woman, but if he's never seen his mum treat that way, I think it would be quite unreasonable to expect him to treat any other woman that way. It's not what he views as normal.
Yeah,
it's sad. It's real sad.
It is sad. And I think, a lot of things happened. I lost my dad at the age of 9. And then, my brother's father, the man that my mum met after my dad, he was a toxic guy. And it was just like, even having conversations with my mum now, as women, she said to me, because her father wasn't too nice, like my grandfather was quite hard on her growing up and everything. She just said that she said, luckily, like, meeting my dad was a blessing because he was a nice guy. But then she said the men that she attracted before him and after him weren't too good. And she was just like, she just used to attract men that were kind of not so nice to women or would put them down or whatever. So then for me, I lost my dad, and then my next, experience with masculine energy wasn't so nice. He was a toxic guy. So then I was like, I just grew up with the mentality that all men are shit. And I treated men like absolute shit for many, many years of my life. Do you get me? And I think it's just sometimes that the payback was the karma that happened later on. I always think it's karma, but I'm trying to change my mindset away from that. But I know that the way that I used to treat men, I'm not saying I used to treat them really bad, but I didn't really have too much respect for them. I just thought, I can do shit myself. I can get it done myself. I don't really have to respect you. I don't have to uplift you. And, but then also as well, through life lessons, I kind of went the other way and I'd uplift the shittiest of men. Do you know what I mean? I would uplift them and put them on a pedestal, but all the time not realizing that was just my energy, really. It wasn't really them. So I think it has a big, it plays a big part in your upbringing and what you've been exposed to also as well. I think hold on.
History repeats itself, doesn't it? We hear the term all the time. It really does just keep repeating itself until someone just changes something up.
Until you break that cycle. And I know my daughter, she ain't going to be having none of it. She knows what she's doing in life. She knows what she wants to attract. And I think it's about teaching, the next generation. I think the next generation have got it pretty much sussed. They know what to do. I feel like they've got it. They've got their shit together like quicker than we have, really, in terms of emotions.
I
in
hope
terms
so.
of,
I hope
you know,
so.
I really think they have, because they've been exposed to more, like, if you think about it, like when we were growing up, I don't know if it's the same for you, but when I was growing up, it's like no one really talked about like mental health and emotions and interacting with other people and personal and social skills. Nobody did that. We just did what we did and we just got on with it. I don't think anyone actually spoke about it. So, you know, it's you know, I hope the next generation of, I know my daughter got shit. She ain't had no man treat her like no idiot. Do you know what I mean? She knows exactly what she's doing, and she also knows how to respect a man as well. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's pretty good. Brena, I'm gonna ask you a question also as well. Does a man's profession like sort of affect whether you would date him or not? So are there any professions that you wouldn't date?
Honestly, I'd have to say probably yes. But then that again, that would also depend on what else people are doing, because a lot of people are doing more than one thing, because we need more than one income out here. So I had like, I've gone up to go wherever I'm going in South, and it's gorgeous. I'm not even gonna lie, he was beautiful. Young man, they were doing the rubbish collection. He was doing this thing, and I saw him give me the look. I was thinking, is he really gonna talk to me right now? And then he did, and he was polite and courteous and whatnot. And I didn't just rule him out, or rule him in or out, or rule him in. It don't matter that he's doing that job, because at the end of the day, I would have to talk to him. His age is why he got ruled out. Why we didn't go no further. But if he had said to me, this is he's comfortable just doing this for a living for forever, then because of my aspirations and where I want to go, I would know that even if he's lovely, he's not for me. If we had connected and he, for example, said, I do this because the hours are great, it allows me to do my other business on the side, or build my other business on the side after these hours are done, gives me my time with my daughter that I've got. Do you know what I mean? I could be like, okay, this is not just your stop. So yes, there were certain professions, but again, it will come back to mindset. If I feel that a profession is not quite what I'm after, but he's doing other things and this isn't forever, fair enough. Fair enough. But that's what would have to happen. I would have to have a conversation. If I meet someone that's in a field of work that it doesn't attract me, I would then just want to go behind the surface a little bit more and see if that's all the focus and the vision is, then probably that guy's not for me. But if he's just on a journey and that's just a stop in his journey, fair enough.
And yeah, then all the power to him. Just a little bit of words of wisdom, words of advice, Brena. Mrs. NG Bance posted a great post the other day, and it kind of hurt my heart. It was basically, if you've ever allowed South London man take you for idiot,
oh God,
then you need to dance. And I was doing backflips. I was doing
I need to backflip.
Fucking all sorts, So stay away from them South men,
You don't need to tell me twice. Tell me twice.
I say that, but let me say no more, innit? Because I'll still go back there.
No, you're not.
No,
stop.
Some. I think you've got like the little 2%, who are actually decent, educated and whatever, but the rest, they're gonna take you for an idiot, Just to let you know, so I'm putting that out there. Don't care if it gets me cancelled. South London men will take you for idiot each and every time, So Brena, stay away. I
learned it the hard way. My baby father's from Peckham, raised on the streets of Peckham, and it's now. He's still in that mode.
He went left. I don't know. You
Peckham, For those of you who don't, please go and follow Mrs. NG Bance on Instagram. Her page is absolutely hilarious. It's just go and look. The memes are live. She just posts some amazing stuff. It's like a lot of inspirational stuff as well. So please go and check out her page at Mrs. NG Bance. So Millie, because you joined us late, I'm going to give you an ask, really. Right, so...
No, my son's calling me. Okay, bye.
Millie's like, no, not this week. No, it's just, you know what? It's quite a straightforward one, actually, and it's not wild this week. It's a little bit. Let's see anyway. Right, so there was this woman, and she was dating a guy. him and the guy were talking, like they spoke for about 3 months. And the conversation was amazing. They video called and everything. It was just because both of their schedules were really, really hectic. They were finding it quite hard to kind of meet. But they finally arranged a first date, and they lived a little bit apart from each other, not too far, just probably like about 2 hours away from each other. So they had to travel. They decided to meet in between. So he said to her, make sure you dress up, you wear something really nice, a nice dress or whatever, and I'll dress up and this, that, and the other. It's going to be really special. So she gets to the restaurant and she gets there before him. So she gave her name and everything and whatever. And they said, oh yeah, the person joining you did call the restaurant. They're going to be a little bit late. But take a seat and order whatever drink you want. So she does so. And, she wasn't feeling anxious, even though it was the first date already. She wasn't feeling anxious. She was quite relaxed. So then she sees the guy and she sees his face through the window. She's like, oh my God, there he is. Exactly how, she thought straight away that's how she felt the butterflies were there and whatever and all that. So he comes into the restaurant and then he runs over to her and he said, I'm going to be 2 minutes. Like, I'm literally, I know I'm running it. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to be 2 minutes. I'll be right back. So she was like, oh, okay. It's a bit weird, but okay. So he goes back out of the restaurant and then he comes back in and he's pushing a pushchair. He brought his baby on his first date. And he looks at her and he says, I'm so sorry. Her mum couldn't have her, so I've had to bring her with me. And the baby, like, when I say baby, yeah, the baby is tiny. Like, tiny, probably like, say, about 7 weeks old. What would you do if you were in that situation?
Okay, first of all, did I know he had a kid?
No, he didn't say. Yeah, he said that he had children. Like, he said that he had children, but no ages were discussed or anything. Yeah. Like, they didn't discuss the age.
The first thing I would have answered, like, how old are your kids? Because
same.
From the talking stage, from when you would have said 7 months.
7 weeks, or what you said?
Oh, 7 weeks, sorry. 7 weeks.
7 weeks. Yeah, the baby was tiny.
7 weeks. Yeah. But that's not the question. The question is, he turned up with this baby.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm not rude. So plus, if the baby's cute, I'm going to want to cuddle. So, But then after that, I don't, we are going to have a conversation afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, but I would still stay for the date. I mean, he'd have to be paying, right? Or is he going to start telling me the milk's really expensive, the powder's expensive, the nappy's expensive? Because I don't want to hear about that chat. But hold on, what do you mean the mum couldn't? So has he got custody of the child? Does the child live with him?
So basically, he's not with the mum. Him and the mum are not together. They broke up.
Do you think, as a mother myself, I'm not letting my 7-week-old child, like, I'd be breastfeeding.
Exactly.
So that's what I mean. So does the child live with him?
But I'm not too sure if the child lived with him, but they had like sort of.
This is what I mean. So I would sit for the meal, cool, we would talk, not about the child because, we were just talking, whatever. But then afterwards, I would have my little black book with questions in, because you're saying that you had to bring your child because the mother couldn't. So what was the mum doing? So you agreed to take your child, which is absolutely fine if you're doing co-parenting, cool. But you've agreed to take your child knowing that you're going out to let the mum go. And at 7 weeks, there's questions there. But after that, I mean, we're not.
Flags, isn't it?
He's just in the friend zone. Obviously, if the date went okay, and obviously we've been speaking for 3 months, and I know we can talk, then you just stay in the friend zone. It's nice in there. There's lots of people in there. There's people to talk to, and like, the friend zone is an amazing place to be. I dip in and out every now and then when I ain't got shit to do. I'm in there too. I'm like, hey guys, remember me? Do you know what I mean? It's fine. Be in the friend zone. You don't have to date. It's fine. It's fine.
The
7 weeks.
the girl did. She actually did. She did friend zone him because she was just like it was a bit too much for her. I think she was like, the baby's too new. Do you know what I mean? What is actually going on? I think it was something like the mum was cool after she had the baby. I think they broke up when she was pregnant, but they just decided to co-parent.
It does happen, but I mean, ages would have been spoken about beforehand, and then bringing them to the date. Like, you didn't even tell me. Like, if you told me, I could have bought mine. Like, could have been a family. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know, I'll just be in the friend zone for a little, because I can always take you back out. Like, the friend, once you go in, like, it's locked, but it's not padlocked. Do you know what I mean? You know, like the big tub key. It's fine. It's on. I can still open the lock and take you out. But for now, stay in there. Let me just analyze the situation that's going on, and then we'll see from there.
I'm so done, Millie, you kill me. Freckleface Mama said that's why he was busy. Crying, laughing faces. Peely is saying things happen, but with a 7-week-old baby, where is your head at for both parents? Sleep deprivation is controlling every action at that point. Let them deal with what they need to deal with. If anything, you made a new friend. Yeah, I like that. I'm sure she's still still speaks to him every now and again. I think she's still friends with him. There's a girl in my area. She told me about this situation or whatever. Jam Ents is saying it's locked, but it's not padlocked. Laugh out loud.
That key's like that big. I'm gonna lose it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just a chop. Just a chop lock. I got that on my key. I'll let you out, maybe.
Oh, really, you killed me off. Yeah, I think it's a difficult one. I think everything was fine. It was just they just decided to just co-parent because they broke up like way into the like early in the pregnancy. It wasn't working, so they just decided to just part ways. They were still friends or whatever. Everything was friendly. It's just he showed up with his baby on the first date. It's a bit much, isn't it? It is a little bit much. So yeah, I think we there were a few like other topics we were going to talk about, but I think we went so deep into the dominant male. I love the different aspects of it and the way that everybody had their own, different interpretations of the dominant male and what it was like a kind of a theme of what women want. So I like how everyone put that out there. Milan is an independent woman. She don't need no man to do nothing for her. Yeah. But if you want to do it, then you can. It's fine.
Yeah, that's basically it on paper. Literally, like, if you want to do it, but don't expect me to keep saying thank you and please and this, that, because that's all long. Like,
so guys, if you're going to hold the door open for Milan, don't expect to thank you each and every time.
No, not each and every time. And at least be like 10 steps. I got long legs, innit? So I can walk quick. Like, be 10 steps ahead of me. Don't make me stop for you to open the door. Like, don't break my pace. Do you know what I'm saying? Just...
Milan.
I'm grateful.
It was like she was here for the whole show. Milan, you could turn up in the last 5 minutes and it would be like you're here for the whole show. Kay has said, day release from the friend zone. Mills, I think that you're just cracking everyone up this evening. You are really cracking everyone up.
Like, let me see what this friend zone is. It's beautiful in there. Trust me.
Oh, so guys, you know what? We're gonna have to have a part 3 of the to be continued. I really enjoyed this discussion. Thank you for coming on. Emma, thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, go and follow Emma on Instagram at Mrs. NG Bants. You will not be disappointed. Her page is just the one. It is my go-to when I am feeling down, when I want to laugh, when I want to feel inspired. I look at her page. Absolutely brilliant. Brena has her own business, Brena's Addictive Cakes. You need to go and have her cakes. I haven't sampled her cakes yet, but I want to eat my phone every time I see one. And I know people who have had her cakes and they said they are absolutely out of this world and amazing. So go and hit Brena up and follow her page at Brena's Addictive Cakes. Millie, you can catch Millie every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on the Whole Division podcast. Millie is the best. Millie is good energy. She's good energy. She's beautiful. She's honest, and she's just open. And we love us some Millie.
Real life, like.
Yes, and also as well, Millie's a cheat as well. So, and the reason why I say Millie's a cheat, yeah, sorry, Mills, I got to go in on you a minute. I've just been informed that we have a quiz next week.
Guys, I cannot wait. When you hear who's doing the quiz, I cannot wait for the quiz. It is going to be...
We're having a quiz next week.
You've got 2 devices and come onto this quiz because it's going to be top quality.
So we have a quiz. How many devices do we need, Mills?
2.
2 devices. Our quiz next week is going to be hosted by one of our very, very loyal viewers. That's Miss East London Kim. She will be hosting I'm coming on for this one. I didn't make the last one, but this one I am coming on because I know it's just going to be funny. Emma, if you can, please join us because I just need somebody to beat Sticky. Sticky cannot win, yeah? Although I don't know because Kim and Sticky, I think there's something going on between them and she might give him all the answers. Who knows? But yes, don't forget to join us next week. Like we said, how many devices, Mel? 2 devices, and don't forget to go and like, share and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will be posting episode 9 when Sticky actually sends it to me because he wants that form of control. He thinks he's a dominant male, you see, so he tries to keep all the footage and everything, but it's fine. I'll just hack his Zoom and go into the cloud and grab the episode and post that, and I will be posting this episode also by the end of the week. But yeah, thank you for tuning in and just do your thing. Keep shining. Thank you so much, guys, and have a good nice night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.